Hey, beautiful people. It's Ashley here from Elemental Growth. Burning a little bit of sage here, and I'm going to bring you through the Be the Change protocol for spring cleaning. It's going to be a wonderful time. We did do this live yesterday, but Facebook took it down like not even 3 minutes after we were done recording. It was pretty ridiculous. I did write them a message. Hopefully I hear back. Otherwise, it's just gone. So I'm being proactive here. I'm creating a new video. I'm going to post this up on the members website today. As you know, all this stuff is free. I do this every season. This is our 3rd year, going into our 4th year now. It's pretty awesome. I bring in guest speakers, guest experts to answer questions that you guys actually have, questions that you've asked me, that I've collected this information and made sure that I've found people. And of course, synchronicity brings me other people too, and it's just wonderful to collaborate and to have these opportunities. So I offer them to you guys pro bono every season, just to help entrepreneurs get healthier and wealthier naturally, because I truly believe that it's us entrepreneurs that are making the difference. Half of the world's wealth right now is in the hands of entrepreneurs. And it's us heart-centered entrepreneurs that are taking this money and reinvesting it into innovative ideas, into charities, into things that are actually helping this world in a good, positive way. And with all of the chaos and how flipped upside down things are right now, everybody's staying home, there's going to be a lot of shifts. People going into early retirement, some people considering working from home, people ready to take that leap and actually become a full-time entrepreneur. So I've actually opened this up to everybody. You don't have to be somebody who's already been doing this for a while. If you're just new or just considering it, this is a great way to learn how to get healthier and wealthier naturally. I am also a single Native American mom, so I bring in a lot about nature and nature secret messages. I bring in a lot about unschooling and just being a parent and a leader and a guide. You know, that's what we are as parents. It's just guides, teachers, and it's a beautiful process, and I really integrate all of that in to give you guys an amazing program that has been very beneficial to over 300 people have gone through this program already, and that's around the world too, at least 10 different countries that I've got record of at this time. Not everybody gives me all their information. This is a free thing, so you know, you're not obligated to do anything. The reason why I do collect a lot of this data is just to make sure that you're getting what it is that you need. Another reason is so that I can keep track of who's really giving this their all. Those of you that are giving this your all, you're the ones that I'm collaborating with. You're the ones that I'm really working with and mentoring to build you guys up and get you to be one of those entrepreneurs that is making a really big impact in the world. So without further ado, let's hop into this Be the Change protocol. I'm going to share my screen here. Already got the PowerPoint up. So this is a Be the Change challenge. I did write a book. It was published last year, Be the Change, Your Guide to Elemental Growth. You can order that on my website, elementalgrowth.org, or on Amazon just by searching. And it's all about nature's protocol. That's really what I'm encompassing. It's just a fractal of what nature does already, similar to permaculture. I just brought it more into the business world and into the human body. If you're a farmer or anything, you're familiar with the Farmer's Almanac. And that's kind of what this is. It's just a Farmer's Almanac for the person, though. It's not about the land, it's about us, our body, our mind, our spirit. And I use nature's secret messages to help us tap into that. So the book, it was based off of these challenges that I was already running. They've changed, they've evolved over time. As I said, we're going into our 4th year now. So yeah, let's dive in here. A lot of this is from the book. I'm just gonna read it out so we're all on the same page. What's gonna happen in the group now is that every week there's going to be a new video from me. There's going to be videos from some other guest experts that I've had in. And there's also going to be a lot of handouts from all of these years that I've been doing this have all been collaborated into Google Documents that you guys can download what's relevant to you. If you have questions about anything specific, this is an awesome time to send them into me, ashley@elementalgrowth.org, and I'll answer those questions in other content for you. It's just a really good way of building community and getting a bunch of like-minded people together for collaboration and masterminding. And we do this 28 days every time that there's a new season. So let's talk about spring and the element water. Springtime, it's pretty incredible. All this stuff that's happening with this pandemic right now, the coronavirus, this couldn't be happening at a more synchronistic time, if I'm saying that right. Like I'm probably not using that word right there. But it's not a coincidence, it's a synchronicity. Spring is a time of rebirth, and that's what's happening. It's that there's a big transformation happening here. I heard this quote the other day that said, nature got so upset with us and sent us to our room to think about what we did. And you know, how true is that? You know, Mother Nature is really healing right now, and we're doing a lot of healing. Maybe we manifested this in some way just by saying, I need a break, I need a change. You know, I hear that from everybody all the time. You know, and there are some people that hate change, but then they're so miserable all the time. It's like, dude, you need the change probably more than anybody. But that's what's happening on a global scale right now. You know, everything is upside down. We're in the state of emergency and also the state of normalcy. The dissonance between where we were and where we're going. And that's what spring's all about, is just washing away the old. So spring is governed by the element of water, which is symbolic of rebirth. Although we become livelier during this time of year, we may still be stuck indoors more often than we'd like. You know, another synchronicity there, right? A lot of us are in home isolation right now. As we get a lot of rain these few months too, that's even more reason why we're going to be staying in. So this rain really helps to thaw out the ground that has been frozen all winter. It feeds the wildlife and grows foliage for the rest of the year. You may also call this the spring cleaning, which, as you know, I do. There are many holidays we celebrate in the spring, as such would be like April Fool's Day, Earth Day, Arbor Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Cinco de Mayo, and Easter. Let's just name a few. Spring truly is the symbol of rebirth, and it should be celebrated, you guys. I mean, who doesn't like a good celebration anyway? It's a time to make way for new things that await us, a time to truly play and be one with Mother Nature through a different lens. Spring bloom may have made for a more fun title, but spring doesn't start out that way. The rain first washes away the old stagnant debris from the year before. Microbes and fungi transform what no longer serves us, and the animals bring life back to the forest, fields, and skies. As one of Mother Nature's creatures, we too are born again and can follow the same steps. Most homeowners may already have a spring cleaning ritual for the home, but what about cleansing ourselves internally? During this webinar, I will share with you the Elemental Growth Protocol for spring cleaning your body, mind, and soul. I've been actually saying body, mind, and business lately, because elemental growth is evolving more in that way. I've been helping entrepreneurs get healthy for so long, and now I've gotten so much better at business and done more business trainings and worked with some really amazing people. And so I'm starting to bring that into my mentorship as well. So I'm playing with that. Sorry about the little stutter there. A bit different of what I've been saying and what I wrote previously. It's amazing to see that progression. So I'm going to slideshow this so I can get the screen bigger for you. Okay, so let's take some time here. I'm going to relight the sage. You guys find a pen, a paper. We're going to do a little short activity here. A little smudge. All right. Take some time here to ask yourself, what have I been hanging on to? What have you been hanging on to? What aren't you letting go of? What's been stuck and feeling stagnant? What just can't you shake off? Like, is it something that somebody said? Is it something that you've been doing, a habit, an addiction? What are you hanging on to? Something you've been telling yourself, a limiting belief, a value that no longer serves you. Ask yourself, what am I willing to release this spring? Right now, what am I willing to release? What will I no longer tolerate for myself? How do you intend to fill this cleansed space? Now, I'm cleansing you guys right now. And all my love, Reiki vibes. So what do you intend to fill the space with? Is it going to be more positive thinking? Is it going to be, you're cleansing it physically and you're going to fill it up with, new books or decor or whatever. Maybe you just want it to be blank space. You don't want it filled with anything except for life force energy to flow, that feng shui. And lastly, what do I hope will bloom? Because come the end of spring, right? Water's washed away everything. Now things are really starting to bloom. So what do you hope will bloom come this spring? As you head into summer, where do you want to be? Summer's all about summer love. Just wait till you guys get that protocol. It's a fun one too. Okay, now you guys just hold on to that. It's going to be a good exercise so you guys can reflect on. Hold on to it till next year and see how far you come. I love getting these cups from the reuse store. Man, some of them have like really awesome art on it. I don't know if you can see that, but it's so sweet. I love those places. Can't go there shopping now, but soon we'll go back. Okay. So on the spring equinox, the sunrise and sunset are 12 hours apart. Daylight and night are almost equal everywhere on Earth. This is the time when hibernating bears become active. Birds return to sing in the north, and many of nature's creatures have their babies. The spring equinox has been celebrated as a time of renewal and rebirth for thousands of years. Spring rain and warmth breathe color and life back to the earth. It's a time to get outside, connect, and observe all of new life beginnings around you. We can celebrate by sowing seeds, planting flowers, or building a garden. If you don't want to go outside right now, or you just living in an apartment, you don't know how to do the container gardening or don't have the time for it or patience, you can do this mentally. Sow your seeds, plant your garden, think of your mind as your garden. Eventually that will reproduce and you'll find beauty in nature and those hobbies and habits that it is that you love. But it does start within you. For me, it was the opposite. It was getting more in touch with nature that I was able to get more in touch with myself and learn these messages. But everybody is different. Do what you're drawn to. A bonfire is another great way to celebrate the equinox. Tell stories, dance, sing, beat drums, play music, celebrate the spring with loved ones or even by yourself. Hosting a spring equinox ceremony is an elemental way that you can welcome new life. Give thanks for what has passed and honor transformation at its finest hour. Everybody, I hear it all the time. My mom says it all the time. Information is power. Information is power. I'm so sick of it. Information is not power. It's the actions you take that bring transformation. It's that transformation that's the power. It's that hitting the rock bottom and saying, this is it. It's time to turn shit upside down. Time to shake things up a bit. As Dr. Seuss says, sometimes you do have to look at the world from upside down. So it could literally get upside down and, You know, I've done it. Yogis are doing it. You know, I know even some men that were working corporate jobs, and then they started getting into yoga, and they're doing like headstands and handstands every single day, and seeing how long that they can hold it, because it is giving them a new perspective, and it's challenging their body, their mind, their spirit, all in one active movement. So let's talk about bringing and restoring balance into your home environment. Do some deep cleaning. Get rid of clutter, anything that you no longer need, to make space for something that's new. Or maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's just leaving that open space there until something new comes to you. Maybe you don't even know what you want or what you need right now, and that open space is exactly what it needs to be. You just need to make space for that opportunity. Donate any material items you haven't used for more than 6 months. Burn old receipts, paperwork, journals, whatever's no longer needed. Of course, join our 28-day coaching event and dedicate at least 1 hour every day or every few hours to go declutter and clean each room or section in your home. There was an amazing movie. It's really empowering for women, especially me, through like any time that I've gone through a breakup or something. That's like one of my go-to movies. It's called Under the Tuscan Sun. It's about a woman. She goes through this horrible breakup with her husband, and her friends send her on this tour to Tuscany, and she ends up buying a villa there and doesn't even return back to the US. And as she was taking over this villa, it was like just full of junk and needed a lot of work. And she said this amazing thing of, you just got to take each room and make it your own. And I just I melted in that moment, and I could totally relate. I've moved so much in my life, and even when I do stay in one place, I still have that ritual in my life that's so dear to me, to do just that every season. You know, even if it is just in a 28-day challenge, and you divide up the rooms in 28 days or in 4 weeks, whatever it is. You know, it's great for honoring rebirth and honoring new. To balance your mind, body, meditate, or practice some yoga. This will cleanse and create inner peace. Use this space to develop a new routine, a wish list, or whatever it is for the months ahead. You know, maybe it's doing a dream board. To track your success over this time, take a look at your calendar and ask yourself the following questions. Where was I at Christmas? When we did this, the Winter Resolution Challenge, right? What was going on in your life then? Where was I New Year's Day? When and how did you celebrate your holidays? What were you feeling then? What was your mindset and your goals then? How is that different from now? Focus on the positive here and really breathe out anything else. When you're breathing out, it's almost like an emotional colonic, right? You breathe in the good shit, breathe out the bullshit. So just breathe in, hold your breath at the top, let that good energy rebalance in your body, and breathe out anything else. It's like an emotional colonic. Just let it go, get out that energy. Set out and create a meaningful celebration ritual for you and your family. How are you going to honor this? Is it by doing some dream boards, getting out all your art supplies, all your magazines? Everybody does up their own dream board, or collage, or whatever it is that you want to call it. Maybe it's something else. Maybe it's playing music together. Yeah, just make it your own. Actually, do you know what? I challenge you guys to write it out in the group. Let me know what it is that you're doing, how it is that you're honoring this change in your life. How are you honoring what's happening right now? You know, we're not all victims here of this coronavirus. You need to honor these things too, and find things to be grateful for. It's a challenge in itself. Life is challenging, and this is a challenge that we have, but we're still blessed with a lot of things. Blessed with technology, with running water. Now, I've been to third world countries where even on the best days don't have running water, and you're going to the bathroom in a hole. You know, I grew up in the country. At one point in time, I ran out to the country in the middle of winter, way up north. I lived there with a boyfriend of mine, off the grid, where we had to literally shovel our way to a double-seated outhouse. It was a crazy, ridiculous time in my life, but I've done those kind of things. You know, so I find a lot of things to be grateful for in my life. And I hope that you guys have that opportunity to just look around and say, even in the midst of all of this, there's still a lot I can be grateful for. And find a way to honor this time and celebrate. Bring laughter. Laughter is the best medicine. So let's talk about moon cycles. The moon influences many things on Earth, from the ocean tides to our moon and our hormonal cycles. The moon can affect our emotions, sleep, and energy. It may also indirectly influence your work life, relationships, and self-care. Let's bring awareness to these days and how the moon influences you. Many people comment that they're more accident-prone, emotional, or erratic during a full moon. Using this time to practice grounding in the form of dance, yoga, or breath work can help to balance your emotions during this part of the cycle. During the new moon, you may experience insights from within, making this the perfect time for meditation, journaling, or to do something creative. The new moon is on Tuesday. That is when the Be the Change Challenge, the 28 days, is actually going to begin. Because even though you can access the food guide in the group and everything right now, the way that I went through the weeks was aligning the food with the moon cycle as well as the season. So it's using seasonal foods in a time that nurtures the moon cycle, so you guys can really get your hormones in balance naturally. It's literally everything that you need. It's taken me years and hours and money to get the resource that I needed to create this stuff for you. So please take advantage of it. But we're going to start this on Tuesday when the new moon begins. So let's talk a little bit more about the new moon. The new moon is the first of the lunar phases and represents a time to ask and manifest. This is the first new moon of spring. We just had the equinox last week. So the new moon is when seeds are planted and intentions set. It carries fresh energy that may spark clarity, purpose, and magic within us. Though the sky is dark during this time, when we turn inward, we become our own light. And it really, if you thought of yourself as a candle, like you take this little candle right here, right? You have a choice with this candle. If you're just given just that, just a candle, you can light up a dark room. You can go into every corner individually and see what's there. Or you can light somebody else's candle, and then there's even more light. The full moon. Spring is a season that invites fertility, abundance, rebirth, and regrowth. Our behaviors may change during the full moon as we become more active and the days become longer. This time is best utilized to revisit our winter resolutions and track our progress. Ask yourself, simply ask yourself, take your New Year's resolutions, ask, what is paying off? What isn't working? You know, what's working, what is not working? What can I change right now? What's still important? What's irrelevant? Change is good, man. I could go into all the moons right now, but I'm not going to. Instead, I just encourage you to go into the group and you can download the 2020 moon guide that I have there for you. I also did one for the circadian rhythm. I'm going to give you a few things about the circadian rhythm, but instead of going into what the hours are and everything, you guys can just access that inside of the group, download it if that's the part that you're interested in. I do think that it's all relevant, but you know, if you just open up your windows, you can wake up, you can adjust your circadian rhythm to rise and set with the sun. And it's really important for hormone balance and things too, you guys. Our circadian rhythm doesn't only influence when we sleep, but many of our other biological functions, including energy, mood, physical activity, hormone levels, body temperature, immune function, and digestive activities. Problems often begin when our master clock is out of sync. A great habit to form during the spring is to begin a simple form of intermittent fasting. This means limiting the hours of day when you eat. There are many methods of intermittent fasting, but to keep it simple, Aim to eat all of your meals and snacks within an 8 to 10 hour window earlier in the day. For best results, or to take it a step further, you can aim to eat breakfast within 1 hour, particularly if you are having hormonal issues. If you eat breakfast within the first hour of waking up and then stop eating within 2 hours before you go to sleep, even longer if you can. Like if you can stop eating by 6 or 7. I tell kitchens close at 7 o'clock every day. That's what he's used to. That's when we kick in our intermittent fasting. But he eats from the moment that he wakes up pretty much until then. And yeah, intermittent fasting has tons of benefits. I have done articles on it. You will be able to access information. There are tons of different ways of doing intermittent fasting. I think I've even done health talks on intermittent fastings that I've shared with you guys. So yeah, here's what Harvard University has to say about intermittent fasting. That it can help with weight loss after just 5 weeks and can dramatically lower insulin levels, improve insulin sensitivity, lower blood pressure, and regulate your appetite. So, you know, if you weren't interested in doing this before for the hormonal issues, you know, maybe some of that will inspire you to try this out. The food guide and recipes you can already access in the group. I put it up there. I'm going to read to you a little bit from the book here. By now, your healthy food plan should focus on nutrient-dense foods, such as whole fruits, vegetables, herbs, and wild foods. We talked about a lot of this in the winter resolutions and through the years. Some of you have been on here for 3 years now, maybe even 4. So you may have discovered a newfound love for seasonal eating and understanding that it's not about what you're eliminating, but instead how much of your diet is expanding. So that crowding out effect, right? You're bringing in new, delicious, nutrient-dense foods, and by your body getting the nutrients it really needs, and that information from these plant foods, it's changing your DNA and your structure to naturally eliminate the stuff that's no longer serving you and to reduce those cravings. I do talk a lot about cravings, and so does my teacher, Joshua Rosenthal. You guys can even access a free nutrition class if you want that he does. And he's really good at explaining the crowding out. He actually coined that term, crowding out. And he also talks a lot about cravings and about sugar specifically. So if that's something you're interested in, send me a message. I'll get you that link so you can do it for free. The Doctrine of Signatures is an approach to healthy eating that connects food found in nature to individual body parts and also body functions. And it's all by what it looks like. Plants, I learned this by my many years as psychonaut, is that plants talk to us using images. And that's why for me, I had a really big problem with my throat chakra. I had a really hard time breaking through to be able to do these videos, to be able to talk in public, to be able to do anything in that way, express myself freely in these ways. And that was it was very hard for me to do those things. And I think a lot of the reason why that was happening was because plants use images, and that's what I understood plants by that. I didn't understand the language that actual humans were using. I didn't know how to communicate what it is that I wanted to say, because it was more artistic and creative and spoke through pictures and imagery, and even music I feel really talks to me. I'm not musically I'm not a good musician by any means. Probably I can't even name one instrument that I could say that I was even decently good at, but I do enjoy dancing. I do enjoy singing. I'll pick up instruments and play around with them, but for me it was always mostly that, and that's what it's mostly art, and that's what the Doctrine of Signatures is. It's using, if you take an almond, for example, and you soak it in water, it actually shows the veins. And almonds are really, really good for our nervous system. And so it's things like that, like the walnut. The walnut has the exact same ratio of healthy fats as our brain has and needs of fats. And they look just like each other. And in fact, walnuts are one of the healthiest foods for our brain. You know, avocados, amazing when you're pregnant. And what does an avocado look like? What a pregnant woman's womb. And what's inside of there? A huge seed, a seed that sprouts a large life, and it has every nutrient that that a pregnant woman needs, that an infant needs. It's incredible. So that's about the doctrine and signatures. I do have handouts for that. It's actually probably some of my favorite work that I've ever done. I love the doctrine and signatures, and there's not a lot of information out there about it either, which just blows my mind. More and more people are talking about it, but it's the same information over and over. When I did my doctrine and signatures, I made sure that it was a little bit more original and from a collective of information. So healthy eating is quite simple when we insist on it being that way. And that's what the doctrine of signatures teaches us, is those old ways from our ancestors. During the spring, I often focus my efforts on using the doctrine of signatures because it allows me to perceive the benefits of what I consume in a new way. It allows us to ask the questions like, by me eating this, will it allow me to grow or actually hinder my efforts towards self-improvement or towards elemental growth? Is this going to benefit me and my body and my mind and my life, or is this going to hinder me, make my immune system compromised? You know? So I do share all my spring recipes. As I said, they're all aligned with the moon cycles. I share like the shopping list of what you guys want to buy for spring. All that information is there for you in the group. As I said, all of this is free. I just, you can only access it for 28 days. Unfortunately, I just, it is my life and effort. I'll do some things for free. I open it up every 28 days and I just add to it. It's an archive for you guys. If you're part of my mentorship, then you can access it anytime. But okay, so let's talk about, I'm missing a couple slides here, so I'm just going to go back. Share screen. Sorry, you guys. I'm going to share the screen one more time. Where is that? Lost the PowerPoint now, guys. My bad. Change challenge. Point spring. In the physical activity. Okay, last time, share this screen. My apologies. Okay, slideshow. Okay, so let's talk about movement. When I began learning Kundalini Yoga, there was a moment when I understood how the energy gets locked in our body and how movement was the key to releasing pain both physically and emotionally. I've experienced this time and time again through my practice and in everyday life. It's like an awakening that brightens the soul, sheds family karma, and releases any pain that we have endured in this lifetime, or even our ancestors' lifetime. Sometimes we're holding on to our DNA and our genes too. Now the days are getting longer, the air is also getting a bit warmer, and the rains wash away the remnants of last year. We too should consider shaking and releasing stagnant energy through some movement. Increase the amount of exercise you do in a day by adding in a nightly yoga routine, a nature walk, a run around the block. You have gained momentum from your winter resolutions, which is often the hardest part. So now it's just about adding to that, adding in an extra HIIT workout. That's only 10 minutes. There's nobody that can say that they can't do that. And just adding these movements into everyday life, right? You want to stimulate energy. Oh, sorry, you can't see that. You want to stimulate energy? Your hands above your head. Hold. You want to make your kids laugh and release anger outside of you. You want a really a detoxifying breath that you can do at any time during your day. Just sniffing. It's one of the most detoxifying breaths that you can do. So bring out your inner child to play and celebrate you for the miracles that you are. I believe that movement can help anyone feel this way, even if it's not from a yoga practice. Maybe it is just a breath work. Maybe it is just a little stretch here to loosen up your shoulders. Maybe it's, letting oxygen flow to your brain by doing some neck rolls. Whatever it is for you, just incorporate it into your day. I encourage you, stay active though. Like this coronavirus, that's a common cold. When you're dealing with, it's not the common cold, obviously, but that's by definition what it is. And so what do we do when we have a cold? We use warming herbs. We keep our body warm by staying physically active. We try to get in the sun to warm us up, have steam baths or a sauna. These are the things that we're doing. Okay, so everything varies from person to person. We're all very unique, and for this reason, exploring various forms of movement will help you identify with which ones bring you joy and can help you actually stay consistent. That's the biggest part about any of these things, is building momentum by staying consistent, right? It's not discipline, something I do talk about, it is important, but what's even more important is just consistency, showing up in your business, showing up as a parent, showing up for yourself in your own self-care practices, which should include movement and diet. Now that things are heating up, we have more options open to us too. So in the group, I encourage you to share with us some options, some things that you're doing with home isolation right now, social distancing. Tell us how it is that you're still including physical activity into your life. Are you still going out somewhere in nature? Are you, maybe you worked on a farm, nothing's really changed for you, and you just have this now more heat and you get to go on with your life. Maybe it's gardening, maybe it's going out on your patio and doing some yoga, whatever it is, share that with us. I'd just love to hear more about how it is that you're integrating this into your life. Some other things to remember. I did talk about this breath work, but it doesn't matter what you choose to do as long as you bring awareness to your breath. Breath is the life force and energy. The average person cannot last more than 3 minutes without oxygen. To put that into perspective, consider this. We can go at least 21 days, 3 weeks without food or water, and often people do go 40 days without food, not often anymore. That used to be a thing in the spring, 40 days without food, not just in the Bible, but in many different religions. And there are still some doctors that's the protocol that they bring their chronic patients through, is a 40-day fast. They monitor them, they give them water. There's probably some supplementation there if the person needs it, but for the most part, they go 40 days. In fact, one woman, she said, I'm a woman. I always got to do more than men. I always have to work harder than men. So I'm going to go 41 days. I thought that was just hilarious. But yeah, so those options are out there, and you can Google that kind of stuff, these long fasts. I'm not recommending that that's what you do, but I am saying that we can go at least 21 days, 3 weeks without food or water. Using different breathing techniques throughout our day serves many benefits and can also cleanse our body. Some of our favorite breathing techniques includes lion's breath. That's a kind of funny one. That's good for blowing off some steam, waking up your face, brightening your day just because it's kind of silly. Breath of fire, the sniffing through your nose, that's really good at detoxifying anger, stress, overwhelming feelings. And don't forget to bring awareness to your breath in other ways too. As you're doing exercises, as you go down, you breathe out, because you're constricting. As you're rising up and opening up your chest, you're breathing in. It's a process. Having that flow is really going to help your life force energy stay in effect, bringing more energy, bringing more healing. So breathe on, my friends. Check-in activities. Spring represents new beginnings. Perennials are coming back to life. Trees are budding and greens are sprouting out from the ground. Everywhere we look, the colors and energies are changing from death to rebirth. Spring is a time when we can break free from the stagnancy of winter and move forward into the next chapter of our life. If you are struggling with a health issue that you're ready to release, finding it hard to hold yourself accountable for the diet and exercise routine, or seeking direction and clarity, now is the time to break away from limiting beliefs and habits and take intentional action towards your dreams. And that's what I'm here to help you guys do, right? Over these 28 days, you're receiving free coaching from me. You have questions, you email them, ashley@elementalgrowth.org. I'm going to get you those answers. You want accountability? You send me those emails and start doing the homework that I'm sharing with you guys. Email it back into me. I'll give you feedback on it, see how it is that you're doing. You know, I love you guys. I'm here to support you, and I dedicate this time. So that's 4 months out of the year that I dedicate just to helping you guys in this time. So take advantage of it. You know, the rest of the time I'm making my money off of affiliate marketing and my mentorship program. So while I'm doing this stuff for free, especially if you feel like you can't afford some of those things, which, you know, you guys can always afford to invest in yourself. So don't ever feel like you can't. If you want to hop on a call with me and talk about that too, you know, those options are always available for you. But take advantage of this, whether you have the money or not. This is here for everybody, whether you're a seasoned entrepreneur or not. This is here for all of you guys. Yeah, maybe you're just starting out. Maybe you're just curious about what it would be like to just get healthier and wealthier naturally. So spring is the time to organize your ideas, intentions, drawers, cupboards, and closets. It's time to reclaim your mind, life, environment, and free your spirit. Are you aware of when you're feeding your soul too much junk food to feel good? Do you lose time and consistently patrolling social media feeds, compulsively digging into the latest gossip, which is like ridiculous now, like everything's corona, COVID. So, you know, it's good to detox, you know, that might still be junk food in a spiritual way. Video games is another one. Binge watching Netflix is another one. Or binge watching YouTube can be one too if it's not productive stuff, right? These types of activities can seriously drain your spiritual energy. During the spring months, we recommend that you surround yourself with people who make you laugh and genuinely make you happy. Laughter is the most powerful medicine and soul food. You know, right now, if you're doing home isolation, you know, maybe that means hopping on a Zoom call with a friend. Maybe that means finding a mentor and you know, just having the courage to write them. Be like, dude, what's up? You know, I'm working with a mentor that I've been in contact with for we've been in contact almost 2 years, I think now, just through emails. I've hopped on the phone with him a few times, but now we're literally on weekly calls together, and I feel so blessed and so privileged for that. My life coach, he was another one I just reached out to. He's like becoming this YouTube star. I loved what he was doing. I loved his courage and the way that he created his videos, and the stuff that he was talking about was very similar to where my passions are and where I've struggled in my own personal life. And I just reached out to him. So these are high level people, and it's because I just got my mindset around it, that these are just humans, that there's a reason why what they're saying resonates with me. So I did email Dr. Dan Engel, and now I get to be in his presence every single week after pushing for that and trying to manifest that for like 3 years, maybe longer. And then same with Coach Richard Harris. You know, he's a big part of my journey now. He's helped me through a lot of really big things, and I'm really grateful and fortunate for that. But if I didn't have the courage to reach out and talk to this upcoming YouTube star, then I wouldn't have had the opportunity at all. So yeah, just do it, you guys. Especially now you have that time to cultivate this kind of confidence. And that's so much better than Netflix or video games, you know, doing these miraculous things for yourself. Did you know that when we give, our body releases serotonin? This means that when we feed others kindness and nurture them, we nourish our soul, and that's just in the process, you know. We learn that in Reiki too. I'm a tuned Reiki master and teacher, and in Reiki, as we're healing somebody else, you know, we're just opening up the pathways so the body can actually heal itself. But as we're filtering that energy and that information to the other body and to that other person's energy, we too are healing ourselves, because we're getting those same downloads move through us into the other person. And the same thing happens with kindness, genuine acts of kindness, even smiles, right? It's just a ripple effect. It's beautiful. Yeah, I'm sorry to come back to this again, guys, but we are a pretty gluttonous society, and because we haven't been giving back, I think that maybe in some way that's a reflection of what's happening now, of Mother Nature giving us that time out, right? Time to reflect on that, and how we can give back to the earth, give back to other people. We can begin crowding out our home by adding in more natural products and experimenting with some DIY recipes. I have tons on the website, elementalgrowth.org. So definitely check that out. There's some on YouTube that I've done videos with Finn. So, like, you know, they're so simple that even my 2-year-old at the time, we spent a year just videotaping us doing recipes every single week. And it's everything from bug spray to actual meals to snacks, whatever. He was in on all of it. He still loves being in the kitchen, and they're pretty effortless, you know. As I said, I was doing them with my 2-year-old, so you got no excuses not to do the healthy, natural alternative thing. There's also a group that I have on Facebook. It's called what is it called? Natural Food, Medicine, and Beauty Alternatives. Or you can go to facebook.com/group/naturallyashley108. So to conclude this this webinar for the second time, throughout the spring, slowly go through each room, make it your own, take everything that doesn't serve you, box it up, cleanse your space. Gretchen Rubin, the author of the Happiness Project, recommends that you take each room and give it an empty shelf. You know, make sure that everything that you're keeping really makes you feel good and brings happiness, and anything else that makes you feel anything less than light, give it to another home. You know, I personally, like, I hold on to all my wrapping papers, tissue papers, gift bags, things that people give me, and sometimes I'll take items that are just secondhand from my own home and I gift them to other people. And my friends do that kind of stuff for me too. And I'll tell you, those are the gifts that continue to bring me joy, are the ones that were usually secondhand. Things like this, you know, mug that's just beautiful art that I know came from the reuse store, but somebody put love into this, and I think it's beautiful. So some other things that I've held on to is like this little duck, my roommate and I. It's like a little squeaky toy duck, and we used to hide it on each other, and when we lived with each other, and we'd hide it in different places. And that's like another one. She gifted me that one day, and I was like, oh my God, like, just brought back so much memory. I'm never gonna get rid of that duck. You know, those little. So when you do that, even though it's reused, it's actually better for the environment. It's better. Shopping at the reuse stores are better for the environment than to buy these things new, because it takes the demand off of the factories to keep producing these things. We don't need it. It's not just about the money. It's not about having money or not having money. It's about the bigger picture. It's about not being gluttonous. It's about instead giving back, finding a way to reduce, reuse, and recycle being the last option. As you continue, as you cleanse your inner and outer worlds, you may be wondering what to do with all your stuff. I often find that smudging or a burning ritual is beneficial. We were doing some smudging earlier on this video. It's a good way to cleanse old stagnant energy, while donating items is an efficient and rewarding way to also detox your physical world. Another fun way is to spring clean your home by having a party with your friends where you go through your home and yeah, and you bring in a few snacks. It's actually my friend Shannon, the one who did the gifted me that duck. She's actually started these parties too, where she just brings everybody over. It's all girls, kids, no kids, doesn't matter. She offers some food, turns on some good music, and we just go through all of our stuff. And by the end, we've got new clothing, we've got new kitchen stuff, whatever. We've gotten rid of all the stuff that no longer serves us. Whatever's left over that none of us want then gets donated. One person is responsible for bringing that to the reuse store. Right now, I know with the social distancing, it's not a good time to do that, but you can definitely clean everything out and prepare it for that party and have like a reunion party, or you can even do it on Zoom. You know, there's all of these Facebook markets and Kijiji and all that kind of stuff. You know, just have like a Zoom party with your girlfriends where you guys get to catch up and talk about spring cleaning and go through your stuff. Or do you want me to put this away for you? Okay. And, you know, I'm not saying do it, but you know, I just want to brainstorm here. You know, you're never stuck. In the words of John Lennon, there is no problems, only solutions. So good luck spring cleaning. The next steps, of course, is to sorry, my throat gets a little dry. Next steps, you want to order the book, go to my website, elementalgrowth.org, or you can go and order it off Amazon by typing in Be the Change, Your Guide to Elemental Growth. The other option is to get in on this Be the Change challenge. It's open to everybody right now. If you're just seeking entrepreneurship, if you're a seasoned entrepreneur, if you're just curious about what it is, or you want to level up or scale up, you know, this is all about just getting healthier and wealthier naturally. And I definitely have the tools and resources to help you do that. It's a good way to access some free coaching from a master. And yeah, and it only goes for 28 days starting on, well, you can access everything right now. If you go to elementalgrowth.org/RSVP, you can access everything now. And on Tuesday, the 24th, that's when we open up the challenge. All right, you guys, I love you all. If you need anything, email me, Ashley@elementalgrowth.org. Wishing you much love and positivity on your elemental growth journey.